Welcome to another episode of Sports Hub Central. I am your host, Chad M.
And I'm Emily Nerland, and the NFL is back, and we are here to talk about it, starting off with two of the most polarizing names in the game, Tebow and T.O. So first, boomers come out saying that if he were the owner of the Jets, he would cut Tebow. What are your thoughts? Would you cut Tebow if you had that power?
No, because if I'm the owner and the GM and I've acquired him, I'd at least want to give him an opportunity to play in a game to see how he can impact this team before coming to conclusion that he is not the right fit.
What about if he can't be throwing? This was Boomers was saying that he can't throw. He is not your prototypical. You have Sanchez back there. You don't want to start creating this. Like Rex Ryan doesn't even have a hold of this team right now. There were the brawls. Isn't there something that there could be a streamlined focus if there were one quarterback that were that guy? They're talking about Tebow on kick return. They're talking about Tebow on red lines. Isn't there some place he could be that he would be less polarized? He could just be a little quieter, and maybe the Jets just don't need that much drama right now.
Well, let's first start off with the whole drama thing and understand that a lot of this could be a business-related move in order to spark interest in the team, sell extra jerseys, get higher ratings. Now,
that's going to happen regardless, no matter where he is.
No, but Tebow always adds more to that. It's going to create more of an overall attention towards the franchise from fans that aren't necessarily fans of the Jets, just overall football fans. Now, in terms of what he brings to the field, sure, he might not have the greatest throwing mechanics. I think we can all agree on that. But it's the other intangibles he brings to the field. The fact that he's hardworking, that he can play in those goal line scrimmages, that maybe he can play on special teams. Maybe it's his attitude that pays off on some of these nimwits in that locker room.
These guys are professional players that go in there, they get the job done, they go back to their families. I don't think that they're going to be listening to Tebow to try and tell them how to live their lives. It might rub off, and I think he's a good goal line decision, but that's something that time will tell. Another person, top of mind, T.O. just signed with the Seahawks. Now, it's obviously a good deal for T.O., but is this the right move for the Seahawks?
I believe it is due to the fact that we have a mediocre team here who does not have a lot of potential at the wide receiver position. So at this point in time, you know that Terrell Owens still has the talent. 2 years ago when he was in the league, he still got 9 touchdowns and was effective. Is he his former Pro Bowl self? Absolutely not.
So they have a Braylon Edwards who's the exact same kind of player, and he's competing against him. He's been balling out in camp. You bring in T.O. Obviously, Pete Carroll loves that competition. Can they take both of these big physical receivers and move them up? And what does that mean for the rest of the receiving core for the Seahawks? What kind of question marks is this putting on Sidney Rice? Do they think he's not going to be healthy? What kind of question marks does this put on the Golden Tates, on Baldwin? What do they think that their progress is like deeper? And is it just a Band-Aid for one season? Because I don't think that they signed T.O. another season. That would be the worst decision.
Well, I mean, let's analyze the Seattle Seahawks organization for a second here. They've pretty much been putting on a Band-Aid since they lost in the Super Bowl because they've never committed to full rebuild, and they've always just sort of been middle of the pack, not terrible enough to get high draft picks, but not quite good enough to make the playoffs. So this move sort of coincides with everything they've done the last 5 or 6 years.
Well, time's only going to tell. Preseason will be done. They'll be facing the Titans in their first pregame matchup. Something to check into later. Something to check in later would be Sports Hub Central next week. Hope to see you there.